Hey, welcome to Swiss Family and welcome to my garage. So today I'm going to give you an overview of the equipment that we use for skiing with the kids. So we moved out here about 5 years ago. At the time, our son was about 6 months old. Now he's about 5 and our daughter is about 2. So we've been through quite a bit of equipment. And it was important for us to be well equipped to be able to maximize our time in the outdoors. So I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to post them in the comments below. And if you like the video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much. All right, enjoy. Okay, so this was our first purchase for skiing with the kids. So this is the Thule Chariot Cheetah. So actually, when we moved here, we had recently moved from Norway, where we had really gotten into cross-country skiing. We had seen a lot of people skiing with these Norwegian pulks or pilks. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And we really wanted to get one of those when we moved to Switzerland. The problem is finding a pulk is not that easy in Switzerland. There aren't that many. And the few that we were able to find were really expensive. So we settled for the Thule because of its versatility. So now it's in ski mode. What's really nice is that you can remove the ski and just attach a big wheel there. And then in the summer, there's a third wheel that attaches here at the front and it becomes a running stroller. You can also attach an adapter to the front that attaches to your back wheel, and then it's a bike stroller as well. Unfortunately, we've never actually used it as a bike stroller or bike carrier, but I think we've gotten plenty of use out of it in ski mode or in the summer as a regular running stroller. So the way it works is quite simple. You've got a harness here with a nifty little space for a water bottle. You've got these bars that attach the harness to the chariot, and you can modify the length depending on your height and also the snow conditions. There's a little handle at the back, which has been great now that our son is a bit older. He's 5, so when he's tired, he can hold on to the handles and just be pulled behind. There's also a quite large pocket at the back for putting plenty of stuff. Now, let me show you a little bit more about the Thule Chariot. So what you have at the top is this plastic cover that is really great for keeping the rain out and the snow. Just a quick tip, when you're putting it away, roll it up and tuck it up under this little metal bar. Don't crumple it because then it'll get creased and it'll look damaged quite quickly. Then you have a mesh covering that is, just protective of debris falling in, but most importantly, debris falling out. With little kids, they throw stuff and then it gets lost quite easily. Then it is closed with Velcro, so you can open this as well. You only really open this to put children in and out. And what you have here that is already rolled up is a little sunshade, which is actually really practical on those very sunny days to just shade the children who are inside. The panels on the sides are also a little bit tinted to protect the children from the sun. So as you can see, we went for the 2-seater because we knew at the time that we wanted 2 kids. But I would actually recommend the 2-seater even if you have only 1 kid. For the very simple reason that if you're going anywhere with kids, you usually have quite a bit of equipment with you. You have diapers, you have extra sweaters, you have extra blankets. So you're going to put those somewhere. And if you're pulling them in the chariot, you have this harness that is around your waist at exactly the spot where the backpack would be. So if you're carrying a backpack on top of this harness, it's going to be sitting a bit awkwardly on top and it's going to be very uncomfortable. So it's a lot nicer to just be able to put one child on the side and then all the equipment behind. Finally, also, you'll probably have friends with kids the same age, and then you can carry them both, so it's always practical to have two, and you never know if you're going to go for two kids in the future. Another thing that we bought separately is this. So actually, this is the hammock, the infant hammock. I forget exactly what age they recommend. I think it's about 10 months. So not before 10 months, because there's still quite a bit of shaking in this. But then you can install this hammock, which attaches at the top, at the bottom, and kind of hangs there and is really comfortable for an infant. And then there's also, once it's installed, there's space behind, so you can put more things behind the hammock. When the infant is no longer an infant and in toddler territory, then you just remove it and you have the regular seats behind. It's a little bit cramped, but I mean, it works. Recently, we used it with our 5-year-old son and our 2-year-old daughter. And yeah, aside from the fact that they were bothering each other, they fit and it worked quite well. Just maybe a little tip. We bought this and we didn't buy the kind of warm adapter that fixes to the base of the Chariot. I think if we were to go back, we would probably buy it. We thought, oh, we can just stick a blanket over them and they'll be warm. That only works to a certain extent. I mean, it worked. We've used this for 5 years, but if I were to go back, I would buy that warm base that has holes in it to allow the straps to go through and is really adapted to the Chariot. Also make sure that you use the seat belt. It's nearly impossible to tip the Chariot, but it has happened to tip it over completely. But I have sometimes been on steep slopes where it gets tipped a little bit, like 90 degrees, and then the kids easily fall over. The seat belt is useful for that. And actually, very recently, you might have seen this in another video, I got a root caught on the ski as I was going down quite fast, and the kids got shot forward. Luckily, they both had their seatbelts on and nobody was injured, but I'm happy that they had their seatbelt on. The other thing is rent or buy. So if, like me, you have a car and you live next to the outdoors, I would definitely recommend buying. For the simple reason, for us, that we did the calculation that each time we rented this, after about 10 rentals, we could easily buy one of these on sale or second hand. So that was our calculation. Obviously, that depends on the model you're looking at and the place you're renting from. But we felt for something that we would use for many years, which we've now used for 5 years and will continue to use with our children, and that we also used in the summer with wheels for running, using it as a running stroller. That was just really useful. Oh, and speaking of using it as a running stroller, there's also a small leash that you can put around your wrist, which actually is a really nice little comfort when you're running with this. If you ever fall or trip, you have this around your wrist and the stroller isn't going to go flying. For us, it was a cost calculation to buy it, but then there's also the logistics. Whenever you're going out with children, there's a lot of logistics. There's diapers, there's snacks, there's extra clothes, there's a little teddy bear or something. There's a lot of stuff that can be lost along the way. And we found it very practical to just have our Chariot, not have to do the extra trip to go rent it, just the hassle of it. It was really convenient to have one of these. All right, so that's it for the Chariot, and I'll move on now to what we did when they were able to stand on skis. Thank you very much. Okay, welcome back. So here we have the ski equipment that we used for our kids. So starting with ages 2 to 3, we had these very simple plastic skis that we bought for maybe about $30. They don't really have bindings. They just have these little straps that you can attach to any boot. At the back of the ski, you have a little bit of a scale pattern so that they don't slide backwards too much. But these are really not about the ski. They're really for the children to imitate adults and or older siblings and just get used to being on the ski. And you can also see we've got these because they had cars on them, and that was great for getting our son on skis. Then from ages 3 to 5, we get into the other categories of skis. So for the first year, we wanted to put our son on cross-country skis. We figured it might be a bit easier to start on flat. So these are his cross-country skis. We could bring him to groom track, but it's also something that you can use. Oh, sorry, car driving by. It's also something that you can use on any flat surface, and so quite easy to use in the backyard. Here we actually did the calculation as well. So we estimated that we would use these for about 3 seasons with 2 children, and so it came a little bit cheaper actually to buy these than to rent these, obviously, and that was to buy them new. I think obviously if you buy them second hand, then there isn't even any calculation to be made. I would immediately go buy them second hand. Another good thing about buying them is you see we're able to add all these little stickers on the ski of cars, and that was also a good motivator. These use these junior bindings, really easy to just step in and close the binding. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these are classic cross-country skis. So I don't know if they're coming out on the video, but there are small scales at the back. And these are meant for going in groomed tracks, but they function perfectly fine in a flat backyard. With those, we bought these Fischer Snowstar boots. These are really the starting boot for Fischer boots for little children. I'd say what I really like about them, they're very comfortable, they're very warm. Never had our kids complain about their feet being cold. There's this little monster on the cuff and on the ankle, and that was also a powerful motivator. Don't underestimate the power of little monsters on the boots to get your kids out. And otherwise they've got a very simple plastic base. They're a little bit slippery. They're not super great for playing in the snow after they've skied. So often we've brought a separate pair of shoes for after they've skied, but I mean, they still work fine for a few minutes of playing in the snow afterwards. Moving on from the cross-country ski, we have the downhill skis. So these actually, we got one pair from some friends, some hand-me-downs, and then when we wanted to go for the bigger version, we bought those. Again, if you can find them secondhand, that's definitely worth it. There isn't much to say about the downhill skis. Nothing particular about them. I think always having little cartoons like a little rooster or mountains are a good motivator for children. Always need a helmet. Now, even for adults, I grew up without a helmet, but now it seems you can't go skiing without everybody having a helmet. And we even got some poles, but those are not necessary at all for skiing at this age. It's really just for having fun and playing in the snow before and after the ski. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to post them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. The kids are still growing, so I'm sure we'll have more equipment that we buy or rent, so I hope to update this video or post new ones. And yeah, stay posted for more info. In the meantime, enjoy your ski, and see you next time. Ciao.